What's happening, guys? Gemma here. I'm back again for another discussion video. I want to talk about whether or not you guys should be thinking of buying this as it is launch day today, but again, filming it before it comes out. So Resident Evil 7 did an unboxing for this. I'll link the video in the cards here. A lot of people have been asking me, is it really worth it? They're really on the fence, and I've been playing this a lot over the weekend. And I'm absolutely blown away with the strength of Resident Evil. The story is so rich and so intriguing. It's set, you kind of start off driving up to the mansion that we recognise from the demo, and all of the kind of posters and point of sale pre-release. And our girlfriend, our wife rather, Mia has gone missing. She's been missing for 3 years, and we get this strange email. That's how the game starts. And that's how we end up at the mansion, based on this email. So there's lots of questions that the game throws at you right from the beginning. I'm going to put this down here. And the action starts instantly. There's no kind of like ease into it. There's a lot of jump scares very early on. And it really does connect with the player. Really, really awesome. Now, I haven't played this in VR, and a lot of you guys have been asking me, why am I not playing it in VR? And my answer is simple. I don't own a VR headset, and if I did, I would not play this, because I find that the experience is very rich playing without VR. You know, the visuals are stunning. That was one of the first things I noticed. And if you guys buy this amazing flipping game, you will notice instantly, as you're driving in through the forest, how nice this looks. The cutscene at the beginning looks really nice. I actually mistook it for actual video, but it wasn't. It was all in-game graphics. So in terms of an actual start from the gameplay, the game packs an immense punch. Didn't really notice any glitches. I'm just trying to think of any kind of like screen tears, things like that I would have expected to see from a launch game. Didn't really see it, but I'm sure we'll get plenty of patches to come that will patch things here and there. I haven't noticed too much. Now, there are two difficulty modes. There were easy and normal. I went in with normal, so essentially the highest difficulty, and I was expecting something mind-boggling. Now I'm about 3.5 hours in, so it is an initial thoughts around should you buy, because I think if a game hasn't grabbed you within the first hour, me personally, I tend to be a bit skeptical. This will grab you instantly. There's an instant hooking, so I think, you know, 3.5 hours worth of kind of playing, I can give some kind of decent advice on whether or not you should get it. Now, if you're not a fan of horror, don't even bother, because compared to other Resident Evil games, this will frighten the life out of you. It definitely did with me, more so than Resi 4, Resi 2 and 3 put together. Resident Evil 1 did scare me because I was a hell of a lot younger then, probably a bit more naive than what I am now. But I think it really is very different Resident Evil. As you guys saw from the demo, being compared to PT. There are elements of PT in there, in that the phones were always rings a lot, you know, and it reminded me of the phone on PT and the Silent Hills demo. We do know that this was in development before Silent Hills, so we can't accuse Capcom of copying anything that Konami were doing with the Silent Hills project, or PT project. So it grabs you straight in. You'll notice that the graphics are phenomenal. You get a nice patch of backstory pretty much straight away, and you meet the Bakers pretty soon. Now, I'm not going to spoil it. It's very gory. My tips are search everything. Even if you think you've been in that area, go back to it, have another look, pick up everything. It's very Resident Evil in that you have slots in your inventory. You play as Ethan. You have slots in your inventory, as you do with the previous games, and then there's the ability to trade your slots in your inventory by putting them in the kind of crate when you go to your save area. So that's pretty nice. That is the vibe of Resident Evil I wanted. It's very much Resident Evil 1 in that sense. You know, you're in the mansion, you're very kind of insulated with the mansion, and you know, the safe rooms, you've got that nice tranquil music when you get in there, and it's just, there's elements to Resi, so it's nice to see that. Really liked that. Coming back to the difficulty, it's easier than what I thought it would be. Found the demo quite difficult to get the good ending. I had a lot of help on stream from you good people when I was streaming the demo, and you do instantly get your item that you got from the good ending of the demo it will tell you right at the beginning of the game that it's populated straight into this initial save. Now, here's where you guys come in on this review. I want to know from you who's played it in VR, and I'd like you to give a little summary in the comments as to how you found it, because like I've said, this is scary enough. This is like super scary, and I found there were some parts that were kind of so gory. I'm not very good with blood, but I was so immersed into this that I did feel like my stomach was churning a little bit. And I think if I did have access to a VR headset, it would probably be a bit too much. So I think there's only going to be a select few people that can really go through this with the full VR experience. I'm not sold. It's a little bit too much for me, but I really want to know if you can help my viewers and help me with your little kind of overview of the VR experience. I would be greatly appreciative. Now, what else is left to come? I know we've got some DLC coming for this, so that's going to be interesting to see what that brings. I'm keeping a real open mind with this. I think it's a fabulous start to 2017 with such a strong game like Resident Evil 7 coming out, and I'm just so excited to see what happens to the franchise. I haven't come across any Easter eggs. Speaking of the kind of franchise, I was expecting like a couple of Easter eggs. Like I said, it does feel like Resident Evil in your save rooms and being insulated in the mansion and the tunnels and the doors, different keys that you can get. But I was kind of thinking maybe there'd be some kind of homage somewhere. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye out for Easter eggs. But tweet at me at Juicy Game Review. I'll put it on screen now and it'll be linked in the description. Tweet me if you find any Easter eggs, or you've already found Easter eggs, being as it's launch day. Smack a comment below and let me know where they are and what they are. So that would be really cool. It's a creepy as hell game. Definitely worth a play. Don't think twice about getting this game unless you hate gore to the point where it makes you feel sick, or you're just not a horror fan. End of. Or your missus is going to kind of dump you because she doesn't want to sit and watch you play Resident Evil 7 all night when she's trying to watch bloody soap. So they're the 3 reasons as to why I wouldn't buy it. But outside of that, go out now, grab yourself a copy, and while you're at it, smash a comment before you go. So that's my kind of little should you buy, yes you should. Grabbed you from the beginning, rich in story, great graphics. Not a big fan of the VR ethos, haven't played it, but it's scary enough without the VR. I'm dying to get back into it. Thanks again for watching, guys. Really appreciate the support. If you're kind enough, hit that subscribe button. Really helps my channel grow. I'll be back very soon. My name's Gemma. Take care. Have a great day, guys. See you soon.